I'm happy with that if that's necessary. But I'm not going to just sit back and say, okay, 70, that's all that was allotted to me in the Bible. I'm done in 4 years, and that will be the end of it. No. It is human nature to strive for something better than you have, to exceed limits, to surpass boundaries, to do something more than what you think you can do. And I am personally very much attuned to making it to 150. That's my personal goal. That means eating right, exercising, working on every possible therapy that might be useful. I'm about to sign up for a clinical trial for something. I won't go into the details right now. I've participated in other clinical trials. You do what you can. This is the human nature. Se hace lo que se puede, as they say in Spanish. We do everything we can. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but that won't stop me from trying.
My focus, I would say, is I like Ray Kurzweil. I think it was Ray Kurzweil who said, live well to live longer. So I've discovered some techniques, which I've written about in several books, if you're interested, they're on the table, on what I call chronic stress syndrome, because I think that is the psychological disease of the 21st century. It's killing us. Chronic stress, we wake up to it all the time. You cannot escape it. The internet has made it even worse. There are resources on the internet where you can go to find ways of handling stress, but most human beings aren't even aware of what stress does to your body. So anyway, 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
And I told him that he shouldn't go into his operation thinking he did, because going in with the idea that he was going to die was not a way to go into that kind of surgery. And it turned out he didn't, which was great. But I think our thought processes and how we think about how we live is as important as how long we live. And that we take advantage of the life we have and fully embrace it. And most of us aren't really that frightened of dying. We're frightened of living. We're frightened of really embracing life and really engaging with our life. And then we have death as the end point of our life, and we're running towards that end point, but we're not living into the life that we actually have.
The biotech space, we already have the technology to keep most people alive till the next phase of technology development. And I think that the biggest factor is regulatory approval of faster systems, early access for terminally ill patients of technology that hasn't been in clinical trials yet. And so I'm a proponent of best choice medicine, also known as best practice medicine, in which we are trying to push for the government to approve a new path before the FDA or the EMA, in which terminally ill patients can get access to this technology. So I think that vastly the technology that can slow aging enough, probably reverse some of the hallmarks of aging, is already here, and that we're just not using it.
It's an important question as an engineer, as a medical device researcher, because I need to make sure that I'm increasing the lives of people who want their lives to be increased. And I think what is missing from medicine, what is missing from science, from research, is really, do people want to live forever? You know, we can do a lot, and this was already said, to improve motor function through hip implants, improve heart function through pacemakers. We've done this. But are we returning the function back to people's lives that make them happy? Or are we just extending lives in a mediocre way?
My children go into a panic when they fear they might have a filling. we get to keep our teeth at great expense and great pain. So it's a ratchet effect. And you have to recognize that there are many mountains that Moses is going to have to, each generation of Moses is going to have to get past. Now, I put into the chat my own essay about immortality, and it made me very unpopular with a lot of the human longevity people because I point out that humans are already the Methuselahs of mammals. Most mammals get about 1 billion heartbeats, mice and elephants.
The point here is what I always find, and I hear it just also that Liz said, is that we are so trusting that, in the future, new technology will solve that, or there will be new technology if we come through this phase. We don't know that. That is one part of the equation. The other thing is that, and Bill said that, cancer is because of aging. Well, is that really true, Bill? Because a lot of cancer is due to all kind of pollutants around us. We are breathing in every day, I don't know how many plastic, microplastics. And doesn't that cause anything? So we can put a lot of attention to trying to lengthen or to repair the telomeres. But if we, on the other hand, are not taking care of making a longevity plan for our planet, I think we are going nowhere.
I've been working in aging research for more than 20 years. And my goal is to understand the fundamental mechanisms of aging. So when I started in this field, the question of extending my personal lifespan wasn't really that important. And maybe I was also very young at the time. So it was more, scientific interest. If we understand aging and we find strategies to slow it down, it will benefit many people. And I wasn't really that concerned that it, may be too late for me. Of course, it would be nice if myself and my loved ones would benefit, but that's really not the first priority for me. I want to understand science. And as it was already said several times, we have already interventions, some of them in development, some of them are very, very close to being implemented that would extend human lifespan by 5, 10, maybe 15 years.
And my work that I'm currently working on is education. I think our current, and I know this is just one of the factors, our current education system makes people feel, well, I'm less than. I'm a B student. I'm a C student. I'm a D student. I'm an F student. And I think the entire education system has to be revamped where every child, every single day is only working on educational pursuits where they are at, instead of spending the day listening to lectures that they're not ready for and feeling incompetent and depressed, like they can't deal with the world. So that's just one of the things. When I talk to people, the most successful experiences I've had in explaining cryonics to people for the acceptance of it, because I never tried to convince someone to join cryonics. My particular movement is just getting acceptance in the world for cryonics, because that's one of the problems.
And I'm not going to waste your time because everything was told, but I would like just connect with my colleague, gentleman psychologist, that to fight CSS, chronic stress syndrome, after a long working life is a must. How to achieve it? That's another question. One has to have, let's say, good personal life, good marriage, decent health. And we know that decent old age depends on not only on health, but also on wealth.